love to do is great, but when you start feeling that you're better than people or whatever, that's when it's a problem, you know what I mean? And I don't understand the attitude, and I see it all the time, but people go, how do you remain so cool? Well, when I see people with an attitude and feeling themselves, it's so ugly, like, why would I want to be like that, you know what I'm saying? So, you gotta know when to turn your Hollywood machine off. And sometimes people disrespect you, you gotta get stank, you gotta get ugly, but
exactly.
You don't gotta keep that motherfucker on the whole time.
Turn the humbleness on and off.
No, I turn that shit on and off. Listen, I'm sorry, I love the West Coast. Oh my gosh, I do. But between food and between our radio, y'all gotta be for sure. And that department, hands down, first thing comes to mind for me. The radio out here, I just hear more of a variety of music. The blend is better from one song to another. That's from what I got from listening to, was 97.1?
Yeah. 97. I was asking him, I'm like, there's not a hot 97 up there?
Nah, it's a hot 92.
You look like Flavor Flav.
Yeah, I'm like,
what was you saying?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, you playing, like, you stop playing games. Cruelty's not, it's not kind.
So you've been acting since you were...
I've been acting for 23 years. I started out as a child actor. My first job was 21 Jump Street, the original TV show with Johnny Depp and Peter.
21 Jump Street?
You know about that now. You tell me that age.
You don't know what I am. I was little watching.
Yeah, we all were. I was little on it. I was 8 years old, man. So that was my first time getting wet in the business. I guest starred on that show, and after I did that television show, my classmates watched it. My teacher watched it, and I watched it and got addicted. After that, I started studying TV shows like Different Strokes, Growing Pains, Good Times, Sanford and Son, What's Happening, all these shows. Studying the rhythm and comedy beats, and I went on to do Sister, Moesha, Baywatch, and NCIS, Cold Case, and then my own TV show, City Guys, that was actually based out of New York many years ago. It was a Saturday morning TV show that came on after Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, that was my show back in the day.
So then I went from that show to a little white show called What I Like About You with Amanda Bynes and Jenny Garth. And now I'm on my brand new TV show, The Soul Man, starring Cedric the Entertainer and DC Nash and myself. It's on TV Land every Wednesday at 10 o'clock p.m. We just finished our first season. So yeah, it comes on tomorrow. So East Coast, make sure you tune in. So,
everybody check that out.
Yeah.
And you want to go back to That's What I Like About You.
What I like about you? Yeah.
I heard that you were the only African American to audition.
Well, no, not to audition. I tested against 5 white boys. So in my opinion, the way that it was written, they didn't picture a brother being Amanda Bynes' best friend. They, in their minds, I think, thought that ultimately he was going to be a white guy. So when it got down from going on the audition, call back, the process of elimination, I battled like four white boys, 4 white boys for this role, and ended up getting the job. And when you're doing that, you're sitting in front of Warner Brothers executives, and you know the odds are against you, but that also I used that as a positive, that I knew that they were all going to do it somewhat similar, and they could never put the flavor that I could put on just because we're brothers. So the Soul Man was like any other TV show that I've been on. When they call you, your agent, your manager call you, say there's a new project. It's Cedric the Entertainer's new show. It's untitled. It's a pilot. Go out and play his younger brother, and I went out thinking nothing of it, but thinking to myself, how can I pass or play as Cedric the Entertainer's younger brother? But that's not your job. Your job is to do the best you can. Let the producers and powers that be say whether you're right for the role or not. So I went out, got a call back, did a chemistry read with Cedric. I've known Cedric for like 10 years, but never worked with him. And ultimately ended up getting the job. So we did the pilot. The pilot was hilarious. TV Land said we want to order 13, let's do it. And the show got funnier and funnier. We have a wonderful special guest cast. We got Anthony Anderson that just was on there. We got Sherry Shepherd, we got CeeLo coming up on there. There's a special guest that's playing our mom, and I can't tell you in the finale episode that's on there. We got so many people that passed through the show. The Braxton sisters, Tamar and Trina Braxton. It's a really good show. It's an original Black scripted television show with positive Black families, family in it. We don't have that on TV right now, but on TV right now, like it. Cedric plays an ex-R&B artist who turns into a preacher. He gets a calling to be a preacher. He gets to uproot his family, us out of Vegas, to move to St. Louis to take over his father's church. And now we're dealing with the issue of the adjustment of going from celeb, fast life to now the holy life. So myself, my character playing his younger brothers, very well, still trying to live the fast-paced life. But it's a really wonderful show, and it just shows how all of us as a unit, not just African American people, but people always toggle against good and bad, and being human, but also having a spiritual sort of sense of grounding, but we do it in a very comedic way.
How do you prep for a role? Like, do you still get nervous considering you've been in the game for so long? Like, when you're on these casting calls?
I wish I got nervous. I mean, I get nervous sometimes today. I don't know where it comes from. But preparing for a role, it depends on what it is. I mean, some people are really method with their acting, and for something as simple as playing somewhat. If you're a gangster, you got you're gonna play a gangster role. It's pretty easy. It's kind of like what it is. But if I am going to play a doctor, a young doctor, then yeah, what I would do is I would do research on doctors and the terminology and the words, and how to pronunciate these words that I don't normally use on my everyday basis. Their body language, I watch shows with them on there. I'll go actually to a hospital and talk to doctors and talk about their stories, and you kind of so you do prepare depending upon what it is, I know before I was an actor, when I was about 4 years old, I started emulating Michael Jackson. So I was like walking around with, Superman underwear, gyrating my crouch, trying to be Michael. So I thought I was going to be an R&B singer, dancer, somewhere along the music line. So I've always had a love and drive for music. At a young age, as a teenager, I started rapping. My homeboy of mine was really talented and could really rhyme. So he kind of taught me how to kind of do it a little bit, Never was as good as him. But I ended up being that I was on art and television and kind of had a little, window in the game. I kind of told him, this formulated group, I'd rather really push y'all, just use my name and face, because really I believed in them. And we formed a little group and we tried to do what we had to do, but I mean, I never really, I had a studio that I owned in Vegas. I had the money.
So what was the name of that group?
Triple Sec, the liquor.